Plaintiff Mallory Dyer says the defendant is her dad, and although she loves him, she claims he was never there for her emotionally or financially. Mallory claims the defendant got her a car and put it in her name, but then he took it back and got tickets on the vehicle, so she's suing. Defendant Jerome Dyer insists he tried to be there for Mallory when she was a child, but her mother made it difficult. Jerome insists Mallory is overcharging him for the tickets.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I love my dad, but he hasn't always been there for me financially or emotionally. Growing up, for first day of school, birthdays, Christmas, he never really got or bought me anything.
Did you all live? Did he
No,
live in the household?
No, we never lived in the same household. I always reside with my mom. But
Do you know whether he provided support to your mom financially?
No, I know for sure that he didn't.
Okay.
So basically, I didn't stay in the same household as him, and he was around, but he was just never one of those ones where I can call my dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, I need this."
How often was he around?
I want to say, I guess holidays or whenever I would see him or
Over once a month, every 2 months?
more than once a month.
More than once a month?
Yeah.
All right. And what do you feel you missed?
I feel like I missed having a good emotional or support relationship with him. Looking at my friends and their relationships with their daddy, they have good genuine support, and I just never had that.
And the father lives outside of the household?
No, they live with their fathers.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, some of them.
You can't get a bond if you don't live together. It's hard.
Yeah.
But a couple times a month, I don't know. You're not gonna get a strong bond, but yeah, he has a presence in your life.
Yeah.
So it's because you looked at your friends. That's what I'm trying to see what you miss, because you had his presence, and money got that, but you did have a father in your life.
Yeah.
So what did you miss?
Just him being there for me,
Being in the house?
No, not being in the house, being a father figure to me. He was never really a father figure. Me saying that he was present, when my mom would go away and I needed to stay with him, then that's when I would see him. But other than that,
No, you say he came around a few times a month. Let's move on. What else you want me to know?
Basically, so...
I heard you say you couldn't call him for counsel and all that. My daughters can't. I wouldn't know what to tell my daughters if it's a girl issue. I would have no idea. If at most I would do is get on a three-way with them and their mama and try to put it whatever input. I know zero about how to deal with women in the proper way. I didn't have a father, and everybody I saw treating women in where I grew up was bad, typically trying to hustle them. I ain't talking about abusing them physically, trying to hustle them, cheating on with 1,000 women, not coming home, call him, he ain't gonna ever answer. So I'm trying to see if that's what you're saying, and I'm not hearing that. And so I'm not gonna look at it that way, because once again, I just never had sisters either. And only time I saw proper interaction between a father and a family, particularly a daughter, started when I was 21. And by the end, ain't nobody teaching you nothing. Or you don't want people to know you don't know because you're embarrassed. My sons, open the door for mama? All right, sons, you are right. My sons had to tell me that. So don't hold too much against him. As long as he was coming by and had a presence. All right, he should have been provider too, sir. I'll hear you in a minute. So how did life go for you? You seem healthy, you seem productive?
Yeah, just by the grace of my mom and other people, my school counselors or other family members. And just me being brought up on being independent. And And so, like I was saying before, so like growing up, I would be raised by my mom. She like never like ditched me. She was always there, took care of me, clothed me, all that good stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him talk. I think you expect too much from him not living there. You talked about school and those things. Someone has to live in the house to oversee your schooling. What do you feel you missed?
I feel like I missed like having a good emotional or like support relationship with him. Like looking at my friends and their relationships with their daddy, like they have good genuine support, and I just never had that.
And the kids live. The father lives outside of the house.
No, they live with their fathers.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, some of them.
You can't get a bond if you don't live together. It's hard.
Yeah.
Defendant Jerome Dyer is being sued by his daughter, who claims Jerome was never there for her emotionally or financially.
Let me get some background from you. The key thing I heard is that you were around.
All right, first of all, Your Honor, in the last few years, I've been through a lot. I done lost a lot. I lost my mom.
Now we're talking all her life. Let's go back to that. She said all her life. Did you hear what she said?
Yes, sir.
Are we talking about that? We're not talking about your thing. I understand. We'll get to your thing later. I want to get to your daughter's thing. She said she was deprived of having a relationship with her father. And you heard everything she said.
And that
so
part.
do you want to address that?
Yes, sir. And
then
that
we
part,
can get to your story.
Yeah, that part of what she was saying, most of it is true. But it was because of her mom. Why I wasn't coming around. It was because of her.
Y'all confusing me. She said a few times a month. Now you say I wasn't. How often were you coming around?
I was coming around.
Because visitation is once a week. And so if you were there 3 times a month, you were there typically the same visitation. So that's when I'm confused. How often did you see her?
I seen her a few times a month, like she said.
Right. So what are you making an excuse for? Go ahead.
I wasn't really making an excuse. Like I say, I seen her, a few times a month,
Right, that's good. For a man outside the household, that's good. I applaud you.
Right. And then I moved to California. That took a lot out. And then I did go to penitentiary as well. So that was a lot.
How many years were you in penitentiary?
I was in penitentiary for 3 years.
Okay, so you couldn't visit for 3 years. You all live in Illinois, you used
Yes, sir.
to, and then you moved to California when?
Yes, sir. I stayed in California. I moved in California when I was about 13. I was back and forth from Chicago to California.
But when did you have the child? When was she born? How old were you? You wasn't 13 neither.
No, sir. I think
That's what we're talking about.
I think I was about 19, 20, somewhere up in there.
She was born when you were 19 or 20.
19 or 20, something.
And you were visiting Chicago?
I was back and forth. I was back and forth to California to Chicago.
What years?
Back in the late 70s.
Okay.
Late 70s.
Back and forth doing what?
Nothing, just
You should have
visiting.
had some money then. You doing
No,
all that
I
back
didn't
and
pay for
forth.
nothing. It was
Visiting who?
my grandfather and my grandmother.
Okay. All right. And you moved there. Why? If you had a child. Why'd you move out of the state
Because my
or the
brother-
city where your child lived?
Because my brother on my father's side was real sick. So I was going to help take care of him.
All right. What's the rest of your poor man story? You took care of your brother instead of your child. Go ahead. Let me hear. You abandoned your child to take care of your brother. I understand. That's your choice. Those are your values. What else you want me to know about yourself?
Well, like I said, as far as the loss that I had,
I would feel like you too. If he was around and then suddenly, one, you done went to prison already, cost me 3 years of a relationship with you. Now to top it off, you're gonna tell me you moving to California to take care of your brother. I ain't seen you in 3 years. Nobody else in the world to take care of your brother, Daddy? I need you. Go ahead, sir. What else you want me to know about your values?
okay, like I said, I suffered losses too with my mom, my brother.
When?
My mom just died last year, June 2000. Not June. She died December the 3rd, 2001.
Do you understand the time frame we're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're just trying to get a little sympathy. Go ahead.
I'd
give you the sympathy. I'm sorry to hear that about your mom. Now, how is that relevant to today's case?
Well, I guess it's not, Your Honor.
Yes, it sure is.
It sure.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep that game to yourself. $1,570. How does he owe you for that?
So the 1570 came about. The 570 is for the parking tickets that he got on the car that he said that he was buying for me, and he was going to teach me how to drive. When we purchased the car of May 13th, I went with him to purchase the car.
What year?
Last year,
Okay.
May 13th of 2021. We went to go purchase the car. For a couple of days, he had the car. The day he decided to teach me how to drive, we approximately went like 7 to 10 blocks, and then he wanted me to turn the car back over to him. After that time, I never got taught a driving lesson again. After that, I never got to drive the car. When I would ask for rides in the car, he would always charge me gas money. And then if I would give him the gas money, he would put, if I gave him $20, he would put $5 in the tank, but keep the other 15. And then I'd be asking for some more gas money, if I wanted another ride down the line.
You ever heard that he was a drug addict or something? I'm asking.
Yeah, he did.
Was he crack?
Yes.
Okay, because those are crackhead moves. Go ahead.
And then after that, he just started getting tickets. And when the tickets came in the mail, I was letting him know, hey, Dad, you got tickets. These tickets are coming. Can we talk about paying them? He said that he would not get any more tickets, but the tickets continued. He didn't pay the tickets. And so the tickets racked up to $570. This year of May, I asked him, we came to agreement that he would pay me $50 a month for the tickets. He gave me one payment of $50, and after that, he has not given me any more payments.
Has it hurt your credit or anything?
Yes.
Have you suffered some additional
Yes,
damage other
the
than
credit
money?
is when the collection messed my name.
That's going to hurt you for 7 years.
Yes, and I'm trying to get that back, and I have never had this happen to me because I've always been a dependent young lady.
Sir, first, did you pay child support?
No,
Why?
I never had to.
Wow.
I mean,
You don't think you have to pay for your children, huh?
no, I mean,
You don't? Okay.
No,
you
I
said
just-
no.
no.
I sympathize with you.
Your Honor.
Your daddy, you got a low-down dad. He even thinks low-down still, as he did when he was a crackhead. In fact, are you on crack now?
No, sir.
Have you been on crack?
no, sir.
You've never been on
Yes,
crack?
yes.
Why you
yes.
say no, sir, then? All right, you still got the crackish ways.
He didn't pay the tickets. And so the tickets racked up to $570. This year of May, I asked him, we came to agreement that he would pay me $50 a month for the tickets. He gave me one payment of $50, and after that, he has not given me any more payments.
Defendant Jerome Dyer is being sued by his daughter, who claims Jerome was never there for her emotionally or financially.
What's your defense to the 1570? If you think you didn't have to pay child support, then yeah, you still either crackhead or you got crackish ways. Are you in recovery?
Yes.
How often do you go to NA?
I don't go to NA.
All right, that's what the problem is. You are still a crackhead, in my opinion, the way you just treated your daughter. Go ahead, sir. What do you want to tell me about the 1570?
Okay, first of all, I don't think I owe for all the two of them tickets. I do not owe.
Did you have the car all during that time?
Yes, sir.
Why wouldn't you owe? If you had the car exclusively that time, why wouldn't you owe? Now, that's definitely crack. Go ahead, sir. Why wouldn't you owe? I know you don't know. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Your crackhead, I believe, dad says that he doesn't believe he owes, but he had the car exclusively during the time he got the tickets and can't tell me why he figures that way. That is an indication, in my opinion, that he has had a relapse, the way he conned you, the way he did you, the way he mistreated you financially as he has most of your life, and that's because he was a crackhead. All of those examples give me the impression that he's still a crackhead. So try and pray for your dad that he will remain clean at some point.
Yes.
But when they do take cars, take money, put slick moves down, they still a dope fiend, still a crackhead, in my opinion. Have a good day, and I can have an opinion. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I have gave my dad too many chances, and we had done had too many conversations about what needed to be done, and he just have showed me that he did not care.